and I can't wait to get started. Here, finally day one of our workshop. I'm so excited. I'm going to turn off my music, my Zen Room 432 hertz music, and we are going to start sharing screen and learning. So today is all about learning. It is all about how to do this on your own. I'm here to empower you as an interior designer. I'm here to answer any questions you have and to give you the guidance to help you DIY your study. And then if you really are stuck and need help and want me to customize your design, I'm more than happy to do so. I have a whole e-design format put together for us to be able to do that. All right, so here I'm going to share with you my screen, and I put together a really beautiful presentation, hopefully to keep myself and my thoughts on track for you, and also for you to get, this is a very visual learning, it's a visual industry, so I'm also doing this presentation so you can visually see what I'm trying to describe to you. And a lot of the times in my design consults, I'll be sketching or I'll be pulling up pictures on Pinterest to show people, okay, this is what I have in my head. Now here's an example of what I'm thinking about along those lines. And sometimes it's like 3 different pictures morphed together. And so yeah, that's why I'm doing this presentation. Okay. So here is a Zen room. It's actually very white, which it looks really beautiful with the black lettering, but I would myself design it with a little bit more gray and color infused, because really all you're getting is the greenery from the plants, which look like they're faux plants. And you've got everything white, which is really minimalist and very popular. I think you've got maybe some metal working in the bookshelf. So what would really make this room pop even more is if they implemented gold bookshelves. This was just a photo I pulled from Canva. Gold framed bookshelves would look awesome in here. A nice like throw rug that had, let's say, whatever color you wanted. If you wanted it to be more feminine, you would throw like a nice blush pink throw rug down there. If you wanted it more calming, you could do green like the plants, a little bit more earthy, or like a turquoise. Those are the 3 colors that I would suggest in here, in this kind of white space for it to be Zen. So you can see every single design even has a post occupancy report and what in the world would be better in here. So that's just my take on it. All right, so obviously design, there's a lot of elements that are involved in a really well put together design. This picture is a design that I put together for actually a commercial I shot in a coffee shop that I helped her in return for using her space for my commercial. I helped her design her coffee shop. So we did actually design something very similar in her space afterwards, but she was on much stricter budget, so I wasn't able to implement all of the rich textures in here, but it really looked very similar and really great. So you've got all the elements, right, of what you see. You see pattern, you see texture, you have the sight of all of the items being balanced. You have some symmetry here with the art. You have greenery stacked here in a nice asymmetrical play field. You have the center being long and then the pillows up being higher. That's called gradation. And then these 3 here are in gradation going high, medium, low. So when you see clusters like that, clusters of 3, you see another cluster of 3 here with the succulent being the 3rd item. All of that really makes your eye say, wow, this is really beautiful looking. And so sight and a balanced design inspires calm. So when you see this, you feel happy, you feel calm, you feel like you want to spend time in this room. And that's my goal, is to help you with your study get to that point in your space. So furnishings is part of the element, picking the right furnishings that looks clean and sturdy and really well put together. This is another room that I did for a client. Lighting is extremely important. So you want to have 3 layers of light. Like I've always talked to my clients, every time I talk to them, 3 layers of light. This is something that is taught in design school that is missed by most everybody who designs, even contractors, remodelers, and the works. When I do remodel and we do designs, I make sure that we integrate those 3 layers of light. So the first layer of light is your ambient light. So it's just your overall light. See, for instance, the recessed lighting here. It's kind of like your sunlight in your space, right? Some houses don't have enough windows to bring in the sunlight. So you want just a general ambient light. And then you have your what you call like decorative lighting, which does actually give you quite a bit of off-put and real functional lighting, but it's more beautiful, right? A chandelier would be that. It's functional and beautiful. And then you have your accent lighting. So see, this client has lighting underneath her cabinets. That type of thing, strip lighting along stairs, strip lighting behind TV cabinets, behind mirrors, and anywhere, you know, little accent lightings, even sconces that don't put off a lot of light, that would be considered an accent light because it's really not giving you real lighting that you truly need and can actually function through. And then those are your 3 layers of lights. I'm just checking to make sure. There's no way I'm going to be able to keep up with the comments and present to you guys. So, oops, I want it to be muted. Anyway, so yes, keep the comments coming. I'm just going to write that because I really appreciate everybody being here. And see, I couldn't even type coming because you can't present and comment at the same time. So I just really wanted to just put in there, I appreciate everybody watching. And yes, I think we're all gonna really love these designs. So I love this black and white, which is not even a throw, by the way. It was like a super, super awesome find I found like at a random TJ Maxx. And so what the whole topic about this is textures. So you have in your space, you want to mix different textures and patterns to help really add depth to the design. So black and white is really popular, the grays and the light blues and things like that, like in this space, the steely kind of colors with the pops of the green, real life living plants really add a lot to your design. And so this is just basically like showing you that textures really do matter, and mixing and intermingling those textures adds a lot of depth and it creates a rich design. So coming to layout, layout is key. So each task needs a zone, right? So you have your desk area needs a zone. Maybe in your study you have a Zen calm area where you do some yoga or some of meditation. And then in your study, you probably would have like a reading chair that you have in that space. And then for me, and I'm sure all of you who have kids, you have a space that incorporates toys and or like a kid's study, you know, desk. So all those things, every room really is multi-purpose. I mean, gone are the days where each room is its own thing. Like even dining rooms now, who actually dines in a dining room? That's a multi-purpose room. That's usually, you know, your kid's playroom, your dining room, maybe like 1% of the time, and so many other things, you know. Maybe it's like a storage room. It shouldn't be, but you know, there's multifaceted ways. Maybe you turn it into a library. Like that would be really cool. So there's lots of different things. Each room is multi-purpose. So really honing in on laying out the tasks in each zone is important for your next step of actually floor planning. So you want to focus on the activities in the zones. This is a floor plan I recently did, and I did it so, like I didn't even put it in the computer because it was so straightforward. And I felt like the line drawings would really give her the communication of what she needed. So this is for an office, actually. So she has like a multi-purpose office area here in the front room, her own private office here. The door's supposed to be there. I don't know what happened to the computer version there. And then this actually is, she has a young child. Like, he's not quite an infant. He's like in between infant and baby. So that's like his nursery. I'm like, you're so clever. You have like a nursery for your child. I wish I had thought of that. So she's got a nursery. So this got his crib and toys and chairs and things. So the whole flow is you want to focus on the zones, right? So she had, okay, I have an accountant. So this is our accountant zone. The accountant has her delegated space with plenty of pushback in her chair and her filing cabinet. And then she has some other people that pop in and they're there like part-time and don't need a dedicated desk. So we did a kind of like break room / conference room table put here. It's a little bit more public, so that's why this zone felt more comfortable in the flow of everything to be at the entrance of the office area. So, and then she also wanted a Zen type of area for her office, and also we have a fridge here for the break room. So I thought she was really phenomenal, already thinking about her people and wanting to have like a Zen cabinet to really make sure that this space and environment and the break area was really calming. So kudos to her, I love that. In here, you just see these pieces. This is artwork. There's, you know, long office halls are really ugly. So putting some big statement artwork that kind of is rhythmic draws you down the hall. That's very interesting. And then in here, this is her executive office. So she, I implemented a tall bookshelf for her and an office chair. Also her L-shaped desk, 2 visitors. These are actually little like ottoman stools. And then a love seat. So she can sit and spend time with her son. She can breastfeed there. She can, you know, visit and have mini meetings. They can sit here. She can sit here, or vice versa. She can even sit in her desk chair with her staff. So, and then in here, again, like I said, the area rug, his crib, the toy chest, and the chair. So everything you see in my cursor, you want to make sure everything is flowing. Most things can be against the wall, and then this traffic pattern of making sure we can get into this zone and around the desk. So this is a pretty small office space. So we really had some clever things to do with working in that space. So each space also, you want to have consideration of how it interacts with the lighting. So this is usually the typical layout for an office or study. She does have a window behind her, and I considered not putting it here because I didn't want the light to reflect on her computer. So you also have to think deeper into the functions of like, what is a light going to do? But she does have blinds, so she assured me she'd rather have it here, and that way it can be an anchor in a space and she can see out and she can project her voice out of the door to anyone she needed to talk to. So sometimes it's not always going to be a super ideal and optimal, but if there's things that you can kind of maneuver in the space, like putting blinds up to help you during those times where the sun is going to start glaring in and hitting your computer, then absolutely utilize those. But in here, I really wanted to keep that in mind as well. Though there's a big window here. So yes, the sun could go in on the accountant here, but she can close the blinds. But let's say the sun was going that way, then there'd be no problem. So, and they're back far enough, it's no biggie. And then, yeah. So also the doors, right? Pretty, like I mentioned, pretty common to have the entry be more of a public space. So here, this could, if she didn't have other employees, this would have been a perfect little lobby type, you know, block off this section with a sofa and create a mini lobby here because the entrance just dumps you right into the office area. So weird. But, you know, we have to work with your architecture. And yeah, so that kind of gives you a gist of how to possibly think about laying your space out, considering what's going on in your space. And there will be 2 hot seats tomorrow and then Wednesday. So I will be going over their layouts. I'm going to be floor planning their spaces. And I can go over all that and give you guys even more ideas because, you know, when you see someone's real life space, it helps give you ideas. So color palettes, those are huge, right? So if you want something to be Zen and you want something to be calm, you want to use complex colors. And complex colors are a gray base. They're a gray base, and yeah. And so you want that to be, my favorite out of these 3 that I have are the green grays. Just because they complement and they earth and they ground you. They complement the blacks and they complement the grays and the whites so beautifully. And even if you're not into the gray and the black, if you like taupe, you know, this color palette really goes beautifully with like the warm woods or taupe and all that. So we've got that going on. Sorry, I'm turning off my fan because I feel like it's making creaky noises, but I need the fan on because it's hot. So green grays. This is Farrow. This actually, she's in multiple. Farrow and Ball, which is an expensive line. I love Sherwin-Williams and Benjamin Moore. Dunn Edwards as well, I use a lot, but I have a Sherwin-Williams right next to my house, and I love their colors are so beautiful. They're so complex. Another color palette that is very beautiful and earthy and very zen are just these earth birch tones. There's all these warm, these are all considered warm grays. And then we've got the black. Every design should have black in it. If you notice, in everything, even if it's just hardware or a chandelier, black is a really grounding color. It is of the deepest part of the earth. So in any design, you always want to implement a touch of black. No matter what and where. You don't have to have the whole thing black, but if you just have like 2 or 3 accessories with an element of black, it really makes it beautiful. It makes it grounded, and it helps things feel like they're not floating up everywhere or too bright or too ethereal. It really holds and anchors your color palette. This is a color palette that I love too if you like the darker, more bold colors. We've got the navy blues with the gray and the white marble. And then the really warm, like rich, if you love kind of those warm woods. Or if you're stuck with warm woods, let's say you've inherited something, but you don't want to like give it up. You're like, what do I do with this warm wood color or this leather? You know, you can incorporate it with the really still modern looks, and it looks really rich. It's pretty. So those are my favorite color palettes. Rituals. So speaking of rituals and like Zen, your study is all about the sites, and also now it's all about the experience. So making sure that you have rituals in place and a zone that's actually designed with the intention that you're going to have those rituals there, it really creates order. It creates even a focal point for your devotional space. If you like an altar, if you like just a cabinet, if you like just maybe an art piece on the wall, that just helps. It helps draw you to it, and it helps remind you that you did set this intention to really take care of yourself, and you've designed it so that it just makes it that much more inviting. So if you're planning it in your calendar, I would say plan it in your design as well. And so here we have some Zen accessories. I love these. I pulled all of these from Buddha Groove, but also as you see the moon behind me, I love the moon and the moon phases. I love to harness its energy. And that is from Amazon. I can find the link and post it in the group. And so this Buddha Groove, you know, there's lots of different Eastern statues that if you'd like, you love those. It's a beautiful resource to get those. They have beautiful artwork. So, you know, implementing some artwork that kind of creates a symbol or something of meaning and importance to you, you know, mixed with maybe a really beautiful, serene, like water landscape, or if you're a mountain person, a mountain landscape, things of those nature. And then I love how the Buddha is put in here in this like organic wooden container. And then they have this moss and some rocks and this tiny air succulent. It's just really beautiful. And like as I mentioned here, the organic elements really create a space to be Zen as well, because you're honoring the earth. You're not just putting like plastic and white and metal in somewhere. Like that first picture was pretty, but it was very industrial. It wasn't truly as Zen as I would design it, like with these natural earthy elements. And I just love the repetitive, like I love these beautiful, that's obviously why I picked this picture out of all the ones from Buddha Groove, but I love the contrast of that natural sand and white, and then the pattern, it's like the circular pattern that just kind of takes you. That would be a perfect art piece to do like a focal meditation. I don't know if you've ever done meditations where you just look at one thing and you kind of like zone off. Pretty much that's what you do. That's part of the meditation. This would be a really great piece to put in there. Let's say that's like your focal art piece in your ritual corner in your study. And I love crystals. I love the power and magic of the earth and crystals. So inspiring, having these functional pieces like bookends be maybe something that's not like, geodes are cool and you find them all over at TJ Maxx, but what if it actually had a little bit more cleansing and healing properties like this crystal, you know? So this is a crystal bookends, and they're all from buddhagroove.com, you guys. Super simple. They're not overly expensive, but they're quality too. So that's that. So here we have the smell. So smells take your brain into another level, another world, depending on what you're doing. If you're really wanting to focus, you want orange, lemon, peppermint, bergamot. You can mix all of them together or do one at a time. You don't want to do too many oils, because if you get too strong of a smell and you can really smell it, then you're gonna actually start to get nauseous. I did that one day. I put like 10 in with like half the water, and I had to open the window and turn it off. I was like, I'm getting nauseous. So be careful with your essential oils. Make sure that they are sourced responsibly, and that they are organic, that they don't have any of those chemical perfumes in them. So I love Sage, the company, and I also I'm gonna have to plug them tomorrow because I can't remember their name. They're like organic, and they have a subscription box, organic something. And if you want, at the end Q&A, I can go run and get that from my living room. Or if you're like in a stressful situation where you're on a Zoom call meeting with your like super like rah, like hounding boss, you know, I know a lot of us have those, and you have to be on a Zoom call and you have to sit and you have to listen through their BS, if you want to call it. Put on your lavender, put on your eucalyptus or pine to help ground you, to help de-stress you, because those are just mandatory and you have to do it, but it also is really stressful. So any way that you can, use the aromatherapy, use the smell factor, and be mindful and careful about your oils. Sound. So sound, I'm going to play for you a bit from my phone. Sound, actually, you don't even have to really hear it. If you have this Om chanting at 432 hertz, and I'll show you my phone. It's on iTunes. You can find a couple different ones. But the optimal vibrational tones to soothe your mind and kind of put you in a state of relax and Zen is the 432 hertz. And it can be very enabling you to focus and to be creative, because you're allowing the wavelengths to kind of channel your energy. And like, let's say you put on hard rock, like you're not going to be able to really focus and feel calm. You're going to find yourself like, moving your knee and tapping your feet like irritably, and then you're like, oh my gosh, I have to do this, and I have to click here, blah 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 blah. It's like, no, just take. Obviously we're not going to play hard rock, but you know what I mean, like they've done actual studies on plants, those that were played hard rock, metal, heavy hard rock, did not thrive. They did not grow, and the other ones that had classical music grew like crazy up into vines. So it's very important also, if you are in a meeting and it's distracting, or the music can be a little bit too loud or distracting, you can have it even on in another room, playing at the lowest volume setting. As long as something's outputting, it's all, the waves are going through you and your house. So you don't have to have it on loud. So just a thought for you. And I'm going to play that for you here on my phone, since I'm having technical difficulties with my sound. So I'm going to play, you can just hear it. Oh, sorry. Okay, this is it. So it just keeps going on and on like that for 28 minutes, and you can put it on repeat, or you can just play it for 28 minutes. I love it. I'll share some other music. I have to search it. There's another one where it's kind of like really like music you would never listen to it like recreationally, but the music is really helps you with creative stuff, you know, in your brain. So I'll share that in the group as well. I just have to search my phone for it because it hasn't been on the forefront of my music. You know how music is lost. Anyways, what else do we have here? Yeah, that's it. So I wanted to see if I can open my internet to ask any questions or answer any questions you guys may have. Let me see. Yukti was on here. Let me see if I can see all 8 comments. Thank you so much for watching. Post any comments or thoughts in this group. Post them in this thread. I will make sure that this is put on here. And let me know what you thought. I'm going to try and exit here so I can focus on talking to you. Yeah. So I hope you enjoyed it. Just a small, little tiny taste and piece of my world. Tomorrow we're going to have a hot seat. Yukti. So I'm so excited to help her with her artwork in her room, which is multi-functioning. It's a bedroom and a study. That's where she has her desk. And so I'm gonna draw something up for you tonight, Yukti. I'm gonna put some designs together, and then I'm gonna put you in the hot seat. I'm gonna send you a Zoom link so we can hop on together, and then we'll live cast this to the group only. So if you have friends that wanna watch or you think might enjoy this, invite them into the group, because I'm not putting this out to the public. This is just private in this group. So I'm gonna help her do a design consultation, and we're gonna design that space for her. I'm going to give her some tools so she can take them and she can go get it accomplished and make that room look beautiful. So of course I have a service as well if you need me to install your accessories and items if you're having trouble. But my biggest thing is I want to empower you that you can do it yourself. I just want to be your guide, and I'm here as your guide to do that. So that's why I have created my e-design. It's called a home style kit. And it's a whole e-design design. So it's a custom design I would design for a regular client, but I put it together for you in a beautiful PDF booklet. It gives you paint selections, it gives you your floor plan, it gives you your furniture selections, accessory selections, and then a picture shopping list. And I tell you exactly where I found it. And a lot of the times I find it from local retailers that have websites and Wayfair. Because Wayfair has like hundreds and hundreds of vendors. So I really search the good ones. I have a pro account. So there's like actual like wholesalers that now are selling on Wayfair. So yeah, I put that all together for you, and you can literally just buy every single thing I recommend and then put it together. It's like paint by number, but for your design, I guess you could say. So yeah. I'm working on getting that put up to my website, returntocalm.org. So just give me a hot minute to get that done. And I really hope you enjoyed today. I hope that it gave you value, and I hope that it gave you some ideas, it gave you some insights, and I can't wait to talk to Yukti tomorrow. So thanks again, you guys, and we'll see you tomorrow. 2 p.m. I think I'm going to shift it to 2:15, Yukti. So just giving you all a heads up, because my daughter, anyways, her class shifted to 2 p.m. I'm like, what are they doing to me? So anyways, thanks so much. I'll see you tomorrow, you guys. Post your comments in here, post your pictures, post even like beautiful pictures you love from Pinterest. And Gabrielle, post your pictures of your home. Like, I love whenever you post your pictures on Instagram, it makes me so happy. I love your pictures. So let's share with each other ideas. Okay. Thanks so much, and we'll see you tomorrow. Okay. Bye.